Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Oh, Jesus, I forgot to mute it again. I heard myself twice, and I'm like, wait, I should only hear myself when I'm talking, not half a second later.
So can the stream hear the music Donnie's playing?
Yes.
Oh, cool. You guys are fancy.
Yeah. Well,
what's your face standards here?
I posted a couple places, let people know we're live. Let's see. Announcements. Tune in every Sunday. We've started our Empires of the Silk Road campaign. 2 ears, 1 mouth. And yeah, I think that's it for announcements.
Yeah, we don't have too many to go through these days.
Nope. So,
well, I guess we'll just jump right in. So we're gonna start with a bit of a recap because this is a campaign that we played before as the Worst Experts. So we're going to go through a bit of a lengthy read as we just get everyone caught up because also Amber doesn't know where we're at.
Correct.
So. Our tale began in the northern reaches of the Empire, where a tide of chaos had surged southwards, forcing our band of adventurers to seek refuge in Middenheim. But safety was an illusion. They were drafted into the city's defenses and were tasked with guarding the Temple of Sigmar, only to stumble upon what essentially was a heist unfolding in the depths beneath it. A powerful figure sought to claim an ancient sword, and his presence heralded something far worse. Discussion with the city officials had the party learning that the figure they faced was a Chaos Lord who wished to claim the title of the Everchosen, a force that could bring about the end times. In the aftermath, the party delved into an investigation uncovering corruption within the city walls. A breach at the northern gate led them to whispers of a Slanesh cult operating in secret. Their search took them into a noble's estate, where they found him little more than a puppet, oblivious to the cult that lurked beneath his own home. And so the party waged war in the darkness, rooting out the heretics. Yet even victory carried a price, because the party found a scrap of parchment written in Abyssal that Caligar tried to use comprehend languages, and it nearly shattered his sanity. Seeking answers, the party then journeyed to the capital of the Empire, Altdorf, where they were hoping they could find scholars to decipher the parchment. There, they were confronted with the staggering wealth of Ezekiel's family and what they'd once held, and just how thoroughly he had squandered it. The university's head librarian unraveled part of the mystery, rather explosively, and revealed that the full truth lay across the sea in the hands of the elvish lore masters in Ulthuan. Their voyage to Ulthuan was anything but smooth. In Marienburg, they encountered Tobias's family, unveiling more about his dark elf heritage. And then came some mischief. Ezekiel, in a spectacular feat of idiocy, that is what AI says about you, by the way, which I think is fantastic, botched a robbery trying to steal from a wine vendor, where he wound up setting the shop ablaze and then escaping into the night without saving the poor man. In the morning, Caligar wanted to earn some coin before departing, and so went through the city to offer his services in repair, and found, for some reason, there was a wine vendor whose shop had mysteriously burned down. And so he applied his services and helped rebuild the shop before they left. And then the time at sea. First, their resolve was tested by a storm, and a Dark Elf raid tested their steel. Among their attackers was an assassin, but Caligar had little patience for theatrics. He cast the would-be killer overboard with a well-placed vortex warp and yeeted him into the sea. Upon arriving in some clarity, the parchment spoke of chaos portals scattered around the world, and they learned a bit more about the Everchosen, mistakenly finding out that his name was Archaon, and how he planned to ascend. The party figured they would need to seek out these portals and destroy them to weaken the power of the Chaos Gods that is bolstering Archaon's strength. The first portal lay in Naggaroth, home for the Dark Elves. Others await in the steaming jungles of Lustria, the burning deserts of Araby, and the blasted darklands beyond the World's Edge Mountain. Their first destination was the frozen wastes of Naggaroth. Weeks of harsh travel led them to Clark-Harond, where Tobias's family, House Furion, awaited. They were granted an audience with the matron, but aid did not come freely. Tasked to disgrace a rival house, they were sent to slay an Ironscale Hydra. Disguised as healers, they infiltrated the beast pens, where all was going well, until Ezekiel, ever the paragon of subtlety, blurted out an alternative plan. Or we could just kill everybody. The bloodbath that followed left most of the parley at death's door, and as Ezekiel fled, the world around him froze. His patron, tall, graceful, and brimming with disdain, plucked him from his failure. She warned him that failing again would not mean just his soul, but the doom of all he held dear. When the party awoke, 2 weeks had passed, and their absence had not gone unnoticed. Returning to Clark-Harond, they secured the matron's favor and journeyed to Harganeth to seek an alliance with the Temple of Cain, and there Helbron, the ancient crone, tested their mettle in single combat. Pleased with the resolve, she offered an assassin to aid them, none other than Heartrender, the very same dark elf that Calgar had cast into the ocean. Recurring villain. I love it. With Heartrender's guidance, they infiltrated Grond, navigating the lair of the Slaaneshi cults, and the Silver Tongue spared them many fights until they reached the portal themselves, where they faced a greater demon of Slaanesh in a battle that shook the temple. In the final moments, Heartrender hurled the dagger into the portal, causing it to be sealed and vanish before he vanished without a trace. The explosion left a hidden vault exposed, and within, treasures, slightly cursed. Fleeing the collapsing temple, the party returned to Clark-Harond with their ill-gotten gains. A sorceress from House Furion offered them teleportation to the coast, but the ritual went awry and they found themselves cast hundreds of miles off course, deep within the Black Forest. And then, the dragon. Ezekiel, compelled by his cursed helmet, bellowed a challenge at a winged dragon on the horizon, and the dragon accepted, along with its friend. The two landed, and, as was expected, a fight ensued. Blood was spilled, dragons were killed, and then the party determined that, the helmet was cursed. Upon reaching the coast, their waiting ship to bring them back to Ulthuan bore an unexpected challenge. The arrogant and insufferable captain was Lil Nissi, second daughter to the Prince of Illyrian. As they voyaged home, Calgar had a dream where he was offered... Oh, why am I just blanking on what I'm reading? Was dreamt of an offer that would replace his deck of wonder with a new and far grander deck. He accepted, and his curiosity caused him to draw 3 cards without casting Identify first. The results? He became immune to lightning, he received a magic item and a daily surge of temporary health, and most unexpected of all, a newly hatched gold dragon wormling that immediately imprinted upon him as its parent. And that is where we left off.
You really make it sound like Ezekiel's this, walking death trap.
That wasn't me. I just bullet points everything, threw it into ChatGPT and said, narrate this as a DM. And that's what it came up with. So ChatGPT is a sassy bitch.
But not gonna lie, I heard all of these tales. I agree with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I'll admit, hearing my body of works as Ezekiel laid out so far, it is
epic.
A little concerning.
Okay, so you guys are. It's the middle of the night. I think it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when Calgar awoke from this dream, drew his cards, felt a sudden stone-like fortitude come over him as he realized he's immune to lightning. A magic item randomly appears in his hands, and he feels, every day at dawn he gets 10 temporary HP, and he has a new baby dragon.
Yep. And then I think we left off with everybody else coming into the room and then having that short conversation of what the heck just happened.
And why is there a baby dragon? Yes. So
Is the
yeah,
baby dragon that size.
Cardinal, what kind of cleric are you?
Or why?
Hey, Donnie,
Why?
can you
Sure.
put my token on the board hidden so I can see what they see? I'm on a blank
Hold on one
black
second.
screen. All I can see is black
I'm working on
darkness.
some temporary
How about now?
nameplates.
No.
I gave you observer on the freaking dragon.
That would work.
I think she has to select the dragon to be able to see from it.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Or
We can drag a
unselect.
box.
Either way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, you guys have had your conversation, coming to grips with the fact that there is a freshly born baby dragon that only speaks Draconic. Booty, your face is like shining right now.
Yeah, I'll work on that in a second. Tobias, what's your class and subclass?
Fighter, arcane archer.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna reiterate. I'm gonna point around the group and say, remember, we found this egg when we were looting the temple. We're just as surprised that everyone else had hatched, right? And I'll look at everyone.
Right.
Right.
Shock, what's Caligar's class and subclass?
Artillerist, artificer, and effication wizard. Because I'm a multi-class.
I gotta make it difficult.
In general, does a dragon egg fit in the bag of holding? Because that would be the only way we would have been able to transport said egg.
Well, if you
Dragon
think,
should fit.
except it's born as a medium creature, so it's like,
Exactly. No,
5
the egg
feet.
itself is the size of, like, meat.
yeah.
Well, they don't have to know that.
I mean,
The high elves of this
it-
world do have a good, strong connection with dragons, so I would think they would know the size of the eggs.
it would really depend on what's all in the bag of holding right now.
That's the random loot from the Soneshi.
Okay. Yeah.
place.
Yeah, like that would it's 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot. So it's
Yeah, I think it's roughly a 5-foot cube, and so like
and
if the egg took up an entire bag of holding, maybe
no, because the bag of holding
No.
is
it only has like a
64
small
cubic feet.
infant on it.
Anyways, doesn't. We'll just say for simplicity's sake, yes, the egg fit.
Okay, because I just want to get a reasonable story straight, other than well, how'd you carry it in, and then poking holes right from the start.
I mean, the good news is I'm really good at deception.
Okay, so yeah, you guys
roll
have,
another -3 nat 20. Oh, that was ridiculous.
so you finished your conversation, come to grips with having the dragon, figured out yes, it'll fit in the bag of holding, so you can keep your story straight. What do you plan to do with the rest of the night?
I'm gonna spend an hour bonding with my new pact weapon.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back to bed. I mean, this is gonna be an explosion that's gonna happen, and I want to be well rested by the time it happens.
I think I'll follow his lead on that.
Calgar.
Oh.
Can I draw a
I forget
card?
where we were sleeping. Well, I hear that for the first time. Do I know what these cards are? Have I seen them yet?
I don't think you've seen them yet because at the moment I had them back in their case in my pocket or on my side when you came in because at that point I'd already drawn my 3 cards.
But part of the conversation you guys had was explaining the cards, so you're
Yeah.
aware of them.
You know of them, you just hadn't seen them specifically yet.
Well, have I heard of powerful card artifacts?
Part of the conversation you guys had was understanding that this is the deck of many more things.
Okay, gotcha.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
you
did
are
said-
fully aware of what he contains.
Sorry, I didn't quite fully hear what you said, Booty.
I asked, you mind if I draw a card? Just to see.
Why not?
As he says this, I'm gonna walk faster out the door because we're still in your room, right? And I was coming from another room to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
All
in the shared room.
I mean, if
Thank
we
you
want to
very
know
much.
how bad this deck can be, if I draw a card, my bad luck will tell us this is the absolutely worst thing that could happen.
I'm gonna hide behind a box.
Okay.
And are we? It looks like we're not in a room. Do we want to be in a room when we draw?
The rooms are small. I just kind of threw you guys out there, so
Okay.
let's say it's kind of like spilled out into like a hold because, yeah, all of you in one of those tiny rooms
All
plus a
of
dragon
us
just wasn't gonna work.
Plus the dragon. Yeah.
All right. Are you letting him draw a card?
Sure. I will let him draw a card as I pull out the deck and I'll hold it open.
How many cards are you drawing?
He said 1.
I wasn't asking you. I said, Ezekiel, how many cards are you drawing?
Well, I've learned through my recent recap of all of my stumbles that I should be more cautious. So I'm just going to draw 1 card.
Roll a D100.
D100. If it's 66 or below, we'll find out. 60. If
Tobias,
it's above a 67,
It is an 18.
18.
Tobias is wincing in his room and he's covered his crotch like he's waiting for the explosion.
Oh, that doesn't sound
So the card you draw, on the face of it, is a man that is dressed as the rogue that you tell everyone you are. He's precariously perched on the edge of a roof overlooking the streets below.
Did I draw the rogue card?
No, hold on.
No, let me
This is-
finish. Let me finish. As you draw the card, you look at it, you feel like the card just dissolves in your hand, and you feel more balanced. A little more swift and sure-footed, because your dexterity just increased by 2.
Yes! Oh, sweet. Cool. I'm a rogue, guys.
Yeah, you have a permanent plus
Dude,
2
that's
dex
awesome.
bump. And that's a permanent effect. It's not a
Yeah.
time thing.
Yes,
Up to a
that's
max of 22.
That's the base score itself. Ooh.
Yeah, the base score itself just went up by 2.
Ooh,
You just got a
okay.
free level up for your stats.
Okay. I updated it on
feel
D&D
like we've-
Beyond, but you can do it in Foundry or however you want. But, ooh. I like that. One more? No.
This is not going to help his gambling addiction, is it?
So, side note, I was telling Azrael this. In this home game, the Strahd game that I play on Mondays, for one of our characters' birthday, the fortune teller lady showed up and gave each of our characters the ability to draw 1 to 3 cards. Most everyone chose one card. One person chose 2 cards, and my cleric of Lathander was like, I've got God on my side, 3 cards right now.
Oh, good God.
So I am that person. But I'm trying not to be that person. But I couldn't help it but draw at least one.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so after drawing your card and feeling a little more dexterous, are we good to move on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it.
So you guys, once you're like you bind with your new pact weapon, eventually all go to sleep, and about 6 o'clock in the morning, you hear life starting to, like the ship starts coming to life as the crew wakes up for their morning routine, starts getting everything ready. And for those of you not around Calgar's room, or not in the room with him, you hear an elvish voice just suddenly cry out and go, "What in the name of Azure is that?"
Cardinal pulls a blanket over her head and goes back to sleep.
And
Nope.
Calgar, standing in your doorway, is the mage that you guys first met on deck when you came aboard the ship.
So if I remember right, I'm sharing a room with Caligar.
You are.
Yes.
Okay.
It was you and.
Wait,
I think it's just me and you.
is this
or was-
the mage
was-
I tried
was-
to poison that doesn't like me?
Were you in there, Elton?
Yes.
Oh,
no,
good
no,
God.
Sorry. I can't remember if you were in there too. I
think I
know
was in
Ezekiel
there.
was. I
No,
don't
it was just
remember if you
Ezekiel.
were.
It was just Ezekiel.
Okay.
It might have been nearby.
Does anybody remember what was this guy's name?
Off top of my head, I don't know.
Is this Kordak? With the ring on his finger?
Sure. Sure.
Safri.
Well, Safri is where he's from.
Oh, Kordak of
if you-
Safri.
Okay. It's either that or he's going to be Steve, so.
Well, Kordak, we had this egg that we found in the Slanesh temple, and it just kind of hatched.
You found a dragon egg in a Slanesh temple,
Yes.
and you thought it was wise to bring it aboard our ship?
I didn't think it was unwise. Of all the things going on, it wasn't in the things we were thinking about in the moment.
Did you not consider that maybe the cultists did something to it so that it is under the influence of Slanesh?
No, we checked. It's good.
How did you check?
You know, like any good mage, we gave it a good old once over, and swiggity swoo, swiggity swam. It's all good, fam.
By the way, are you talking in Elvish?
No, he's speaking to you guys in common.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
I don't
Because
speak
otherwise
Elvish.
that would have been out of the conversation.
Wait,
His assumption is that the human doesn't speak Elvish.
Okay.
Neither does the dwarf.
Yeah, I don't
and-
speak Elvish.
He's too polite to speak in a language you don't understand.
It thinks
Ezekiel,
Caligar's
I-
its dad.
Ezekiel, I wanted a deception check from you.
D is for deception. I have a plus 11. And I rolled a 4, so that's 15.
So you say you gave it a once over, as any good mage would.
It's as much magical checking
just-
as I could do.
He just stops and leans forward a bit more and goes, "Which one of you is the mage?
Him.
The dwarf?
Yeah.
The dwarf of a race that is notoriously anti-magic."
He does magic.
I know there is some magic in their runes. I don't understand it. So now my question. Who's breaking the news to the captain? Because it sure as shit ain't me.
Oh, I'll gladly do it. The captain and I were on a good standing.
I very quickly just put my hand behind Ezekiel's back and push him forward. I talked to her once.
And then he turns to the dragon and switches to a language that Calgar, you don't speak. Ezekiel, you do. He goes, "Tell me, Golden One, is what they say true? How much do you remember before you hatched?" The dragon just looks at him and goes, "I don't remember much. I don't remember a time within the egg, save for a few moments as the egg cracked. And then I was here, and I looked upon the dwarf, and I knew the dwarf was my father." And you can just see, like, the elf's face drops and goes, "At your age, you have no sense of deception, do you?" She's like, "I don't even know what the word means. What does it mean what is deception?" It's like, okay. He switches back to common and goes, "Alright, get your friends. We are all going to see the captain now."
Did we get a long rest?
Yeah, you would have gotten a long rest
Yeah,
over. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. In case I need that 5th casting of Misty Step.
Just in case we need those things.
Above the table. Is it a bad idea to cast friends on the captain of the ship?
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't do it, no.
I like that you clarified above the table. He's learning.
Look at my
Specifically
face.
because friends says they know after you use it.
I also have charm person.
Big no.
I'm pretty sure that's another one they know after you use it.
Magic.
Yeah, but it lasts for an
Elf
hour, so
princess.
there's a whole hour where it doesn't matter.
The only one I would even maybe slightly give a chance would be suggestion, because there's nothing in there that says they know you use it on them after it's done.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
That is the only one I would maybe attempt, but even then, no. But I do appreciate the above the table.
Okay, so what did I say his name was? Kordak?
Kordak?
Kordak
Yeah.
of Safran.
So
Yep.
he heads up to the upper decks, and he goes into the captain's chambers to kind of prepare for what's going on. And as you all gather together and you go up, you come on deck, and she is standing at the door of her her chambers, and there is a fury in her eyes that exceeds anything you've seen before. And you kind of like all just spread out in the line, and she looks down the line and she goes, "You brought a dragon onto my ship?"
Technically, we brought a dragon egg onto your ship. We didn't know it was going to hatch.
And you didn't think to disclose that. You didn't think it would be important for the captain of a ship to know that there is a fire-breathing creature on her wooden vessel.
In above the table. In D&D, are dragon eggs the color of the dragon that hatches?
Yes. At least I'm saying they are.
Okay. Then another question. Do I know if golden dragons breathe fire?
Roll of nature.
Does anybody know if dragons breathe fire? Or if gold dragons do? Oh, not bad. Okay. We're good. We're okay. We're okay.
That was on a separate thing about her.
Yeah, you know enough about dragons that you know that gold is fire based. It's kind of like the opposite of the red dragons.
Okay. Well, we're more concerned with getting out of Naggaroth. That seemed like of the, it didn't cross our minds, but as soon as it hatched, we were like, oh my god, we need to go tell him. But then, or her, sorry. But then, it was nighttime, and I figured you wouldn't want to be woken up with bad news, so we were going to wait till this morning. So the dragon's very nice.
Yeah, this only happened about 3 hours ago? Because this is, 6, and we said this all happened at 3?
Yeah.
Yep, so, yeah, this only happened 3 hours ago, so we were getting our thoughts together. At which point, Caligar shuts up again.
Kordak is inclined to believe you, and I trust his judgment.
Kordak is a very honorable person.
He looks at you when you say that. You see like the slight lift of an eyebrow, and there's a faint like smirk on his lips, and he's like he doesn't say anything. But
I hate Ezekiel inside hates that he's saying this right now, but gotta swoon him when you're giving him bad news, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, Lilnissy, she takes a breath and goes, "If you can ensure the dragon does not inadvertently burn my ship to the water, I will continue to carry you to Ulthuan."
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no
Do we have the dragon with us on deck, or is it still below deck? Also, Gimli's barking at me.
That's up to him if she followed us or not. Because I don't know.
Now, is the dragon bouncing like a puppy?
She doesn't understand stairs. So you can hear her like pace at the bottom of the ladder, pretty much.
Is she chirping? Trying to get someone's attention?
What did you name her, Caligar?
Zarin Frorley.
Zara?
Zarin
Zarin.
Frorley. 2 words.
I'm just gonna call down Zarin in Draconic.
Yes?
Can you promise not to burn the ship down and not use your fire until we get ashore?
I have fire?
Oh shit. No. Maybe. I don't know.
Do you know how I make fire? What do do I rub my wings together? Does that make fire?
No, we'll figure it out when we get ashore, okay? I promise.
I don't like this right now. Fine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she promised, and I'll turn back to in common. She promises not to.
Unless you raise a hand and goes, "I heard."
Oh shit! I forget these elves love dragons.
Yep.
Yeah. She's like, "Okay. Her feed is your responsibility. I am not sparing extra supplies for her."
Deal?
She turns and walks back into her cabin. And Kordak just looks at all of you and goes, "That went better than I expected."
What can
Everyone
I
loves
say?
dragons.
Everybody loves dragons.
If the people of Calidor do, Illyrian, not as much. They're more horse-based. Anyways, yeah, good luck with your dragon. And don't force me to kill her.
At that, Caligar's gonna stiffen up a bit, but he's, very much trying to hold himself in check from saying anything. But you can tell there's just, trying to come out.
And then Kordak turns and goes back into the captain's cabin as well. Because he's got his own responsibilities to take care of. And on that note, we're going to kind of speed things along. Because one of you is just kind of staring and not participating right now.
That went better than expected.
And I'm fidgety. I'm apparently really fidgety. I didn't really realize that until I was sitting here watching, and then I'm like, I'm fidgeting a lot.
Gimli.
So, the journey takes you, I'd say probably another 4, maybe 5 days. Let's go back to a global map. So you continue sailing on the southern coast of Ulthuan, pass through the gates of Lothern. Nice quick journey for you. Past the Shrine of Assyrian. And return from where you came, which was the port of Elistor, just south of the White Tower of Hoth. And as the ship pulls into port and ties off along one of the jetties, you are all given permission to disembark. You start making your way down from the ship.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Now,
That
have
is
we
super
taught
cool.
the dragon stairs?
I'd assume over like the 4 to 5 days, it's gotten to a point like she's shaky. Like probably like the first time like Alvin went up and down stairs, if you have stairs.
Alvin went up the roof before he figured out stairs.
For those that don't know, Alvin's the cat, the Chaos Kitty. Okay. So as ship glides into the port of Elistor, it's about midday and the sun is gleaming off the city's silvered spires and white stone streets. The harbor is alive with movement. Elven dockworkers are unloading ships with practiced grace. Merchants are haggling in lilting tones, and the ever-present sea breeze carries the scent of salt and everbloom blossoms. For a moment, it just seems like another day in the heart of Ulthuan, and then the very air itself shudders. A ripple of crimson light appears in the center of the docks. A thin, jagged tear forms in reality as if the world itself is being split open by an unseen blade. Red lightning arcs along its edges, and the scent of brimstone... I just lost my place. The scent of brimstone and smoldering iron fills the air. Conversations die mid-sentence, and all of the elves turn, their expressions shifting from curiosity to alarm as the rift grows wider, pulsing like a wound tore open in the fabric of existence. There we go.
That's cool.
I draw my oath bow.
I take out my flail.
Then, from the infernal glow, a figure steps forward. The first thing that strikes you is her sheer size, easily over 7 feet tall, towering over even the tallest of elves. Her armor is a brutal contrast to the elegant finery around her. Heavy black plate, edged in crimson, adorned with shifting infernal runes that pulse with an eerie, rhythmic light. A massive great axe rests across her shoulders, its cruel, jagged edges gleaming with a wicked sheen. Her skin is gray, stone-like, etched with intricate black and silver patterns that seem less like tattoos and more like ancient runes carved into her very flesh. Curved black horns sweep down from the temples of her helmet, polished to a dark gleam. Her eyes, metallic and piercing, sweep across the gathered crowd with the weight of someone who does not look at people but through them. The portal behind her... Picture.
Sorry. I just fucked you over. I'm sorry.
God damn. I picked my jaw up off the floor.
The portal behind her snaps shut with a resounding crack, leaving only silence in its wake. The elves of Elistor, normally so poised, all take a step back in quiet dread. Their disciplined composure faltering, the air is heavy and thick with tension. And then she moves. Her approach is deliberate, every step echoing across the stone dock. The crowd parts instinctively, making way as she strides past. There is no hesitation in her movements, no uncertainty, only purpose. And when she reaches you, she swings her great axe off her shoulder and plants it into the stone at her feet with a thunderous impact. Amber, Othira's first words to the party are yours to deliver.
I look at the party and I say, I am Othira, the Unbreakable, Knight of Dispater, Archduke of the Iron City. I have been sent to join your cause and ensure your success. The end times must not come to pass. For if they do, all war, all conflict, all struggle will be extinguished. And with it, all purpose. You stand at the precipice of ruin, whether you realize it or not. Chaos gathers, and with each wasted moment, the path ahead darkens. I will fight beside you, but do not mistake my presence for mercy. I am here to see this through, no matter the cost. And then she stares at you.
Tobias.
Go ahead.
Tobias just stares and then goes, "Yes! Yes! It's about time the gods recognize how good we are.
Not a god.
Thankfully, someone's helping us. Well, you were sent by your gods, right?
Archdevil.
Close enough. Divine help. It helps.
Infernal.
Tobias is just.
Is he dumb?
We have friends.
No,
He's an
it's a-
idiot.
A little bit.
Tobias reaches out to his friends, pulls him in by the shoulders, like, we've made it. We've made it.
I make sure to stand 3 sword lengths away from Tobias still. He does not pull me in.
She's an ill rigger. Pain.
Ooh.
Nice.
Pain. What is it called? Fuck. Pain seeker.
I thought it was like
Forget what.
painkiller.
Painkiller. Painkiller.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
painkiller,
pain
yeah,
seeker.
yeah.
Painkiller.
What was the name?
Yeah,
of...
she. Othira.
No. I
O-T-
got your name.
Oh,
the
Illrigger?
name of your god,
Oh, Dispater.
Dispater.
Dispater. I'm just not familiar with Warhammer, so I'm writing
Not
it
to be
down for
confused
myself.
with Cat Pater. This is D&D.
Dispater is from D&D, dude.
Yeah,
What is
not
it?
Warhammer.
Yeah, so it
she
is a
she is
painkiller,
looking. She is not enjoying the fact that you're dumb.
What he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in his ability with a bow.
That remains to be seen. We're wasting time.
Caligar is just trying to take stock of the situation because this is like the second thing in the week that's shown up in a portal in front of him.
I extend my arm in like a warrior's sort of handshake type thing and say, "Well met, warrior."
What classes?
Cardinal? A cleric?
Yeah. Do you? Do you?
It's a war domain.
Okay, that's mostly what I want to know. Do you look like you can fight?
Oh yeah. I am
Yeah.
armored up.
Yeah. Cardinal is all sorts of geared up.
And sorry, what was
Yeah.
it you just said? I
I
got
said,
distracted.
"Well met, warrior."
She looks at you. It's Lieutenant, and then she grabs your hand.
My name is Cardinal.
I would say it's a pleasure, but it's not.
I prefer
We're
honesty.
wasting time. Do you accept my aid, or must I carve the path of salvation myself?
We accept. We accept. We will take any aid from gods and devils if it helps us save the world.
Right. Let's get on then. And then she turns around. Presumably to just, like, she would lead, but she doesn't actually know where we're going. She just expects you to follow, and, you know. This person is used to being in charge.
Thera, it's that way, and I'm just going to kind of point in the direction we need to go to the White Tower of Hoth.
Tower of Hoth.
Yeah, because we're
How far?
It's like a day or two.
we can't see the tower from here because we're inside the docks, right? It's how far north was it again? It was a couple days or something, right?
It'd take you like a day to get there, day and a half.
Yeah.
But as you turn to start walking off the docks, a group of the Lothern Sea Guard come running down the docks, hands on their swords, and about 5 of them form a line in front of you, and one steps forward, and he is in the act of drawing his blade, and you can see the rage in his face, and he's going, "Infernal servants, this is sacred land. State your purpose plainly, or you will die."
Do not test me, elf. I'm here to save your precious land, not to waste time on pointless posturing. Your survival hinges on this alliance. Dismiss me again, and I will show you just how fragile your vaunted grace truly is. And she plants her weapon.
Roll to intimidate.
Fuck yeah.
I am in love. I am legitimately in love.
She is unapologetic in who she is.
Now you know why she's been vibrating for days about this character.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Seriously? What the fuck, man? I will beat the fucking shit out of them.
Does she get inspiration for that sick ass line though? Like, I'll bargain on her behalf.
I won't do inspiration. I will do advantage.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Because that's pitiful.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, when you plant the axe in the ground, you see he all of them just take a half step back, and the ones in behind are doing what they can to maintain that appearance of courage in the face of something truly evil. But you guys are looking closely, and you see that their eyes are flitting back and forth. They're going from her to their captain and back, and they're like, if he tells us to attack, we are toast. The captain kind of swallows hard, takes a breath, and looks at the party that he knows and is recognizing and goes, "Do you vouch for this one?"
Well, she says she's here to help us.
At the moment, yes.
So I'm going to say the yes, that she's with us, and we will keep a good eye on her and make sure that her talents are used wisely.
He takes a step back from that ready posture. The sword goes back in the sheath, and he's shaken to his core. He goes, "Okay, she is your responsibility. If your belief in her ability to help, or for some reason she turns against you, if your belief is misplaced, we will call down the sword masters, and you will all be cut to pieces."
Well, fortunately, it won't come to that, because you've got the Neverchosen keeping an eye on her.
She looks at you and goes, "Neverchosen. That's the dumbest name I've ever heard. Why would you advertise that nobody chooses you? Clearly I've made a mistake."
Well, in facing the threat of the Everchosen, who has been chosen by the gods, we were all just kind of thrust into this on a whim. Unlike yourself, who was chosen and sent here, we were just kind of the random people that were there that stepped up. We didn't choose this. Nobody chose us. We just started doing things.
Obviously you needed a leader. That would be why Despater has sent me here. And it is to test my patience. Shall we go?
Sounds good.
As we start getting ready to go. Like I'm kind of keeping like myself between her and Zara and Furley. Just like gonna put kind of like
Protect the baby girl.
cool.
Can I
I'm
roll a
here,
perception
but
check to see if I see the baby?
I don't think she's very hard to miss.
I
She
mean,
is-
If
yes.
you're like,
She
He's like
is-
4 foot nothing.
I'm a dwarf trying to hide just trying to stand between you and a medium-sized dragon baby, which, if you actually look at her token, takes up like 3 or 4 squares,
3 spaces.
even
He's
as a
just
baby.
tiny.
So yes, you clearly see the golden dragon hiding behind the dwarf clad in gleaming armor.
Yeah, because
let's go. It's whatever. Just keep it contained. Let's go.
I'll lead the way. Let's go. Guys, we're a balance party. This is so cool.
Tobias is almost skipping behind. So happy.
Ezekiel's
I think
gonna
it's
lean
awesome that you're playing an
into.
Illrigger.
Ezekiel's gonna lean
'cause
into.
Oh,
that's so
man.
cool.
Ezekiel just,
And as a above board note, she is very happy with her evilness. And she loves herself.
Ezekiel's just
This
gonna
is gonna
lean
be
into
great.
Cardinal along the way and whisper in her ear. I feel like I'm gonna be doing a lot of apologizing.
You deserve it.
Fair.
Try not to slip up. It's gonna end badly.
So, are we heading back to the stables and getting more horses or like another carriage again?
Ooh.
Because
Travel.
Where do
that's
we
what we
need to
did last
go?
time.
Yeah. And on the way, we can trade our stuff that we need to get rid of
Uh,
with gold.
When you talk about like getting horses, I literally stop and start performing a ritual.
Cool. Good for you. But we, the rest of us, need transportation.
While you are at the stables, I start performing. You can deal with your horses. I'm going to summon my own, and then I do my ritual.
I don't want to deal with the horses. Somebody else do this.
Didn't we leave the
But
horses
you
to
were
die in the
so-
wilderness?
Yeah,
No, they ran off. They
They
ran
ran
off.
off because of a hydra.
Same thing. Same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect those horses to be alive.
I expect them to show up at a random time and kick Cardinal in the chest again.
Fuck you.
Just
I
have
have
some
an assassin,
amazing
Cardinal has
story as
horses.
to how they made it here.
All
So
right,
yeah,
we'll go up.
I'll go up to a horse
We'll go-
vendor.
Okay.
I think we should rent, not buy this time.
Yeah. How much to rent?
Buy and then lose them and kill them.
How much to rent 4 horses?
They were taking the horses to Naggaroth, and like it's the home of the Dark Elves. The assumption was the horses are not coming back.
Which I mean is better than to rent them because then you got to pay somebody else anyway.
How much to rent 4 horses for us to travel to the White Tower of Hoth and back?
Are you looking for like all the attack that goes with it? Are
Yeah.
you just looking for the horses? Are you looking
No.
for feed as well?
Yeah, enough feed for, say, a week. We might give you it back at the end, so maybe cut some back to us when we return the horses with extra feed.
Let's say per horse, with the expectation of being returned within a week. Let's go 3 gold per horse, and 1 extra gold for the fee for the feed and tack, which will be the amount deducted will be based on how much you return.
13 gold. I'll cover this, guys. Don't
How
worry.
much is a wagon to rent?
Oh, I make me
Yes.
look stuff up.
Sorry, because like
Why you gotta
Gallagher
be?
looks down at his dwarven self,
Yeah, we'll just
and then
strap.
looks
We'll
back
tie
up
you
at
to
Get
the.
a pony?
horses.
We'll tie you to
You
the
could get
horse.
a pony or an ass. Come on.
He can't ride Ezekiel, okay?
We
Can you ride the dragon?
No,
Not yet.
she's too small.
we tie Cardinal or Caligar to a horse, and then somebody else just leads that horse on a lead behind theirs. Easy. He doesn't even have to ride it. He's just...
What, do you expect us to put a rope strap around my feet and the horse's belly to keep me up top?
You're just gonna lay sideways across the horse, and I'm just gonna do like a X pattern around the horse and tie you
I
to
am
the
not
saddle.
getting tied down as luggage.
3 horses and a mountain pony. Whatever the equivalent is.
We don't have ponies. We have horses.
How about
We don't have the issue of trying to accommodate
2 draft horses
one
with
of those.
2 draft horses with a wagon and 2 riding horses?
Cost for the horses will be the same. The wagon will cost you an extra 25.
Jesus Christ! So that's 13 plus 25 is 38. I'll cover it.
What is it? Hold on, what is it to ride horses? Animal handling?
You
Don't-
can
Yeah.
technically just sit there. It's whether or not you have to, like, try not to fall off.
Alright. Well, we can get the horses. We don't have to get the wagon.
Okay,
If
so
I fall
No,
off, one
I
of you
prefer
is
the
coming
wagon.
back for me.
I prefer the wagon.
and I figure 2 riding horses because a wagon can carry 2 or 3 people, so we'll just have 2 people on it, 2 people riding. So
And then Othira has her own magic.
I'll
Yeah.
Well, as you turn and say that, another rift opens, and a massive black stallion with fire coming out of his eyes, nostrils, feet, and a mane of blood steps out, and she jumps on.
Summon it.
She is a nightmare.
Summon it.
Oh yeah, no, I guess I have to summon it, don't I? Fuck off. 1, 2, summon.
So I'll say
Uh-oh.
I'll just, in trying to work a little
Summon.
bit of a deal, I'll be like, since we're returning
Summon,
it and you know that we're, the party that is helping the lore masters of Hoth defeat chaos. You're talking 38 gold. What about just a flat 30?
What about just a flat 40?
Come on, man. We just defeated a cult of Slaanesh. Can't you cut us a little bit of a break?
I have overheads.
I have overheads too. It ain't cheap going around the world like this, buddy.
Have you paid for any of the ships? You do know that word gets around here, right? We pretty much all know that the ships were paid for by the tower.
Yeah, and our fee was paid for by fighting a cult of Slaanesh in a dungeon in the city of Grond that almost collapsed on our heads.
Roll persuasion.
Ooh, cool.
Does not want to summon for me very
He's
well.
kind of got a point here.
That's a nat 20 with a plus 8.
Nice.
Can you put up a picture of my horse? I love my horse.
Oh my god. It's
Nice.
so beautiful.
I love Fox's reaction. It's like, so you know the fucking water spirit in Frozen 2? That's
Yes.
his mane. But like
Yes.
fiery blood. And he's just fucking I love my horse.
What a
Yeah,
absolute-
Elvigers are awesome.
So he looks and goes, I can't do 30. Best I can do is 33.
Deal, and I'll pay the man. Because it's the first time Ezekiel's had a successful business deal in a while. Did I mess something up on the stream? No. It's just on my end here.
Did you mess something up on what?
My stream software is all zoomed in weird. But I'm looking at the stream and it's fine. So continue. I will deduct 33 gold. I'll link
Okay.
it to Tobias. Say, I got this one, buddy.
Tobias just nods.
Don't let me stop you.
Actually, I think.
Now, I will. As we get the horses and leave, I'll ask Cardinal, so what are the names of these ones?
Jimmy, Timmy.
Timmy. Well, we've got 4, right?
Jimmy, Timmy, Peter, and Jason.
And then,
Okay, so yeah, the horses come out. They're already hitched to the wagon, and the moment they see the nightmare, they start freaking out. They do not like it one bit.
Oh man, I have Phantom Token Speaker enabled.
I am not holding the reins.
Is
You
anybody
guys
good
will
at
not-
animal
will not want
handling?
me to.
I'll try. I hate all of you. Vehemently. We're trying to calm the horses. Oh, thank God.
You're actually able to get them to calm enough. They don't want to get closer to it, but they're not like actively trying to run away at this point.
An interesting mount. Does it have a name?
His name is Gourmet, for obvious reasons.
Doesn't seem very hygienic.
Who
What's his favorite type of
cares?
food? You said he's gourmet.
His favorite type of food is smartass assholes. And he, like, snaps at you.
So, yeah, Caligar will Sorry, I know I'm not very good at saying like the whole above board and then in character deal. This is Caligar laughing.
Oh god, I'm so funny sometimes.
That was a good one. But as an aside, during the travel time on the boat, I'd like to be starting the whole trying to learn Draconic thing, because I know that's going to take a while. As long as Ezekiel wants to actually help teach it.
I will ride alongside on my riding horse that I rented and speak to him and teach him.
He's
Draconic.
backtracking to.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you're on
yeah.
the ship, because
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah,
was,
and
like,
I'm just
4 or 5
adding.
extra days
I'm
of
adding as we
starting
travel.
time.
As we travel to
Yeah.
Hoth as well, I'll ride alongside and like start teaching him the basics of the really harsh sounds of Draconic.
Okay, so let's backtrack to the ship a bit. So let's say there was 4 days that you guys would have been able to like just get some time to yourself and just focus on the language. How much of that time were you devoting to it?
Well, I don't have anything else to do, so as much time as he wants to devote, I've got my packed weapon, so.
As much time as I can do in a day, because I can't talk to my dragon.
Yeah, and
That's sad.
I'll have his dragon there
No,
and
that's why I'm trying to solve the issue.
be working on speaking to both him and Zuf.
Zara.
All right, Zarin.
Okay, so both of you give me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Because studying for long periods of time sucks.
Yes, it does.
I'm not studying, I'm teaching.
Sucks even
It's
more.
harder.
So let's say Caligar, like you were just raring to go. You want to do like from dawn till dusk. Like you're looking to put like 16 hours a day in of studying this. And Ezekiel, after like 10 hours, you're kind of tapped out for the day. So that'll knock off 40 hours.
Okay.
Of the, what is it, 200 you need?
I think so.
I think that's what we talked about.
That sounds about right. Let me.
Yeah, I'm a very leisurely person. Having to teach like 10 hours a day is a lot.
Yeah.
I like having my tea breaks, you know, making sure to have a good meal every now and then. And
So just to make sure, Calgar, you are tracking this, right?
Yes,
Okay, good. Because I don't want to.
very much so.
Just let me know when you hit the 100-hour mark.
Question for the GM.
Answer from the DM.
As we do our journey, can we stop by any trading market or whatever to sell off the loot that we have acquired?
Oh yeah, there is.
Yes, and you guys have that all figured out in the Discord, right?
Think so.
uh,
Other than I did go through and de-gem anything that had a gem in it, because I have to feed it to a dragon.
yeah, so there's a total worth of 4,650 gold pieces in stuff that we know the cost of and wasn't put on somebody's person. Are
Any
you
of
keeping the
those
gemstones,
can be-
Caligar?
Yes.
Can any of those can any of those be used as a revivify gem?
No. Revivify is a diamond.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
So if we're not, so we just have 4 daggers that no longer have opals?
Yeah, because I'm trying. I will have gone through and pulled it off. Because gold dragons' preferred diet is gemstones.
Interesting.
I've looked into it a bit more. They will eat other things, but they do really enjoy gems.
Yeah, they really prefer them. It does say that they don't have to eat a lot, which is nice.
Yeah, like one decent sized gem would actually suit them for like several days.
What is a moon?
That's all we found.
They don't eat
gemstones.
meat?
They do. They just. It's like
Prefer. It's
horses eat hay, but you give them an apple and they're
Right.
happier than a pig in shit.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, it also just
Like their
comes with
grain.
the side. Yeah, it just comes with the side benefit of you only have to give them one.
So we only have
Mm.
445 gold worth of items then because of all the
Oh.
gemstones you've taken.
all of
Oh.
them? Do you want to take maybe the 2 amethysts and the 4 opals? And then sell the
I was about to
moonstones.
say, like the moonstones, they can go away, but like I can hold on to the smaller ones. Like that's why I said the ones in stuff, because like the
Okay,
daggers with
so that-
opals
so
together is only 120.
if
So
we
those
can-
opals aren't worth very much.
I thought it was 4 ornate daggers worth 120 each.
Yeah, but it's the daggers with opals, so it's like without like.
Yeah, if you
The
take the
opal
opals
itself
out, then
is
they
worth
drop
a
down
heck of
to
a
like
So
I
how
don't know,
much
like-
is a silver dagger worth? Yeah, that's my question.
say 15 gold.
So times 4 would be 60. That
Yeah.
gives us 3,505 gold worth of items because Cardinal
Yeah,
doesn't like to do
that's-
math.
Thank you. Jesus.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll add it to the sheet.
Yeah, so if I could hold on to the amethysts and the opals, that I would be very much appreciative.
The other day I was watching another D&D stream and they asked how far they could go at 600 feet per 6 seconds and they had to go
Oh, God,
50
stop
miles.
talking. Stop.
I put the answer in chat and they didn't believe me, so I had to prove myself.
So 3555?
3505 is the total amount that we have. And I will go and sell it with you to provide my charisma bonus if that matters. Not that it usually does, because I'm a terrible businessman.
Just for sake of ease, let's one of you do persuasion since you're helping the other with advantage.
Ezekiel.
Perfect. This is what I'm here for. This is my dream.
That one.
That'd have to be 2.
Yeah, I mean that's
24.
possible.
Yeah, so you get the market value, the 3505.
Are we dumping
DM.
that all in the party?
Party loot, yes.
Okay.
Electrum chalice. We didn't know the value of that. Would we have been able to learn that?
You bring it to like you're going through various vendors and where you're selling off like all the silver and dagger stuff. Let's find out.
And then why did we take the horny painting with us?
Why not?
Or to enjoy it.
Because when I get my mansion back, that's going right in the foyer.
That's gonna go right behind the
Foyer.
bed frame,
Foyer?
right above the
Now it's
headboard.
Foyer.
French.
Foyer. It is a French word. It is foyer.
Woo, I got it right.
Foyer drives me up the wall. So yeah, the Electrum
Only
Chalice.
because you're Canadian.
Yeah. The Electrum Chalice. It'll give you 50 for it.
Okay.
So it becomes 3605.
36.
I'm doing the math. Don't worry. I have a calculator.
35.55.
Yeah, I don't know where you got 3605.
Wait, no,
50.
because I thought we were at 35.
No, because there was
Doesn't matter.
because there
Doesn't
was
matter.
60 because there was 60 from the silver daggers.
Anyways, what do you guys before the Chalice? It was 3505. Add in 50. It's 3555.
Okay.
You said 100.
And as we're
Is a lot of money.
going through the stores, I'd like to look for like a strength item, an item I can wear to make me stronger, to up my strength.
Okay, we'll deal with that after. That's gonna take some
Sure.
time.
I mean, all you have to do is pull a card. Strength is in there.
Okay, so is there anything else you guys are doing on your way out of town?
I don't have anything in particular. I'm not going to be going around the different elven shops. There is no reason for the Dawi to patronize the Elky stores.
No, nothing else for me.
I might pick up a Revivify diamond just in case.
Okay. Yeah, you find a jeweler, and you walk in and say you're looking for a diamond that's worth what, 100?
300.
Is it 300?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 300.
Oh.
It's 300 gold's worth of diamond. It doesn't have to be like a single one. It could be like dust or whatever, but it has to be
Okay.
300 gold's worth of diamond. That's a cute pick.
So then, yeah, just, type that's always looking to make a sale is like, yes, I've got all the diamonds you want. Do you want this in 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 10 diamond, 50 diamond? How many diamond do you want?
Ezekiel, handle this. I don't want to talk to this guy.
Preferably just 1 300 gold piece diamond.
He's like, I'll be back in a second. Disappears in the back. And you hear, like, the rummaging through drawers just banging, and the occasional, like, you hear Elvish words. You don't understand what they say, but you're fairly certain they are not polite. He finally comes back out, and he just got this massive diamond in his hand and goes, this one, I'll let you have it for 300.
Thank you.
Cardinal, you should insight check this person because I don't like the way he said that.
Okay, well, can I just? Is it worth 300 gold pieces? Would it suffice?
I just looked up the 2024 Revivify, and it does say a diamond worth 300 plus gold per gold piece. So they changed the wording on it a little bit, so it has to be 1 solid diamond now. Before it was just diamonds adding up to 300.
Roll your insight.
I am assisting her by shrewdly looking at this diamond.
It's not how insight works.
You don't know.
Yeah, like he seems genuine. Like you're starting to realize like you guys have a bit of a reputation with the fact that you've returned from Naggaroth. Like word spread quickly, and he's more than happy to do legitimate business with you.
I'll take it. Thank you.
No, Cardinal,
party.
please
Okay,
let
I'm
me
done.
let me play. Let me pay. It's the least I could do.
No, I'm paying it with the party loot, not from my personal funds.
Please allow me. As a
Save your
cherished
money.
friend who's definitely never made any money behind your
I
back
will
but wants to
suplex you.
prove my friendship to
I will
you.
suplex you. Just put your money into the party loot.
I don't know. I
I
don't
pay-
have
I
that
pay-
much money.
Can I walk over, grab the back of your neck, and drag you out of the store and put you on your
thank
horse?
you.
I have to think about
Cardinal is
how
not
Ezekiel would
physically capable
respond
of
to
blushing,
this.
but goddamn.
I think there would just be a very stern, don't touch me.
She doesn't care. Let's go. You're taking too much time.
I'll Misty step onto my horse, because ain't nobody gonna force me to do what I don't want to do. I just bamf out and bamf onto my horse and cross my arms and wait.
We're waiting on you now.
Come on, Othira,
Let's
you're
go.
taking too long.
This might prove interesting. And then she smiles. And it is not a good smile. By the
Someone's
way,
sleeping with one eye open tonight.
because I wasn't here for your session 1, what's the party's stance on PvP?
It's never really come up, I don't think.
Let's do a little round robin. And find out.
Yeah, that was never a
It's
concern before
never-
because everyone was like okay with each other. So, show of hands.
Not trying to kill anybody. I guarantee you, she's not trying to kill you.
So just nice and simple. Show of hands. Who's okay with non-fatal PvP?
Unfatal for sure.
All right, there we go.
I'm okay with all of it,
Follow-up
given a
question.
good reason.
Follow-up question. Who's okay with fatal PvP? Okay, so we got no one. We got big nose on that. So you're not killing each other, but you can certainly lay a beating if you want to.
Okay.
Awesome.
It would be.
I'm-
That does get me excited. It'll be really fun to go up with like duels against each other.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
let's talk about duels. That's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Okay, so moving on. Unless you guys something else you guys want to go over. If there's anything like magic item shopping you want to do, we'll deal with that in Discord afterwards. It's just so much easier than trying to waste time here. But yeah, you guys gather your stuff and head out onto the open road. Just say for simplicity's sake, takes you a day and a half to reach the tower. And during that time,
Sorry, Phil
you
did say he was going to help me with the whole draconic thing again while we were riding.
yes. It's the amount of travel you do, because you guys aren't going at like a quick pace. You're just doing about like 8 hours of travel. Doing that while traveling, I'd say the amount of like actual work you're able to get in would count for maybe 4 hours.
Okay.
Just because you're still being aware of everything happening around you.
Yeah, we're
It's
not
also
sitting
bouncing and
fully
all that
level,
stuff.
but yeah.
And then during the long rest overnight, you can probably get another hour's worth in before you have to call it and get some sleep. So 5 hours total.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be a butt about it. I'm just.
No,
wanna make sure
you're
I'm
trying to
getting-
learn a language and you're keeping track of it. So yeah, it makes sense to me. And so when you do finish your long rest, Ezekiel, because you are human and you already have inspiration, do you wish to pass inspiration over to Othira?
Does everybody else already have inspiration?
Everyone else has already got it.
I would make sure everybody else did, and then I'd give it to Othira.
Oh, that's funny.
And yeah, quest accepted. We are playing 2024 rules. Just FYI. I think you guys are still playing 5e.
Okay. Do I still have this picture?
You should. I believe in you, and if you don't believe in you, believe in me who believes in you.
Because you've all seen this, but Amber hasn't. So as you're getting closer to the tower, you are still miles away from it, and you are noticing this white spire that rises seemingly unendlessly into the sky. You get closer, and it's very clear that it is elvish design in, from your perspective, in the absolute worst way. It's pristine and glittering and catching the rays of the sun, and it's dazzling from a distance. Um, but as you get closer, you're able to make out more details, and you walk up to the walls.
Oh, cool. Why are we
And-
going here?
They've been looking into more leads as to where to find the other portals of chaos.
We've had them send out spies, gather information.
They were how we found out we needed to go to Naggaroth in the first place.
Right.
The Warhammer nerd me wants to correct you to say Naggaroth.
Same thing.
I didn't want to try.
Naggaroth was the capital city. You guys never made it to Naggaroth.
Yeah, no, Naggaroth is the place.
You
or
see
is the-
one Dark Elf city, you've seen them all.
I mean, that is
Murder in
that
the
is fair.
streets. Hey, look, bloody-handed
Robbing
god of
auction
murder.
houses.
Murder in
robbing-
the streets,
robbing
freaks in the
s-
sheets.
Nobody knows that I did that.
Did what?
Exactly. The platinum jingles in my pocket, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the I cast greater visibility and wait outside for 5 minutes. It's a 1-minute spell. Okay, so yeah, you guys make it to the tower, and as the 4 original members of the party approach, a gate seemingly, the walls seem to like melt in themselves and form 2 white marble towering doors, and it seems like they're about to open, and then Othira gets closer and they immediately vanish.
Elves and their stupid magic.
Is Caligar's just gonna take a deep sigh and just Elky.
Well,
Do
so
you not like elves either?
No,
I look down at myself and just kind of gesture broadly.
Right.
We don't normally get along in the first place.
Mm. Well-
Othira, roll a history.
Mm-hmm. History. I am not very good at these. Nope. I am not very good at these.
Yeah, but the DC wasn't that high. Because Dispater is all about war, you are intimately familiar with the history of the wars between elves and dwarves. The fact that Calgar is not trying to smash elven skulls right now is shocking to you.
Perhaps you have some worth.
I'll
And
turn.
you'll see
Now-
what
Us
else
will-
I can do when we get into a combat. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Tobias will turn to the group and say, not that I'm trying to leave Othira out, but, and she'll definitely join us as we go, but do we need her in there? It looks
They're
like
gonna
they're
have
trying to say.
questions either way, and we probably just need to let them know she's with us.
We just have to go through their stupid Elky thing again.
Can't we just shout for them to let us in?
I mean, you have sending. Shout away, cleric.
I know the guy's name. The leader. We talked to him at some point.
I'm looking for it myself right now for you.
Stefan.
No,
I
it's not
just
Stefan.
had it.
No, I forget which
No,
one it is.
he's actually a named character, so no, he is not
I know.
Stefan.
It's really
He's-
far back. DM, do you remember? Could you remind us his name?
Karanath.
Karanath, yeah, Lore Master Karanath.
Great. Alright. I'll send a message to Lore Master Karanath.
Nice.
And what do you wish to tell him?
We're at the gates. We have a new ally. Can you please let us in? Please.
Pretty, please.
Shits and giggles. Roll a persuasion for me.
Oh, brother.
I promise she's not bad.
16. 16.
Not bad. You don't immediately get an answer, and the walls don't open for you. And you sit there, and you're like, okay, what's going on? Until you hear that familiar soft-spoken voice from behind you. And on the path you just took coming up to the walls, Karanath is standing there, and he's looking over all of you and goes, "What are you doing in the presence of a knight from hell?"
Apparently,
Don't
hell doesn't
understand.
like chaos either.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I'm just gonna sigh again.
We had to make friends with clerics and assassins of the bloody hand and god of murder. I don't really see this as any different.
Hell is so much different than the chaos you've encountered. He looks you up and down and goes, "Dispater?"
Of course.
Hmm.
If chaos wins, war ends.
So you're a
I
painkiller.
live for war. Yes. How do you know that?
Knowledge is, for lack of a better way to phrase it, what we do. So,
Well, then you would know that Dispater sends his painkillers to ensure that things go in the favor of those that have petitioned. In this case, he wants chaos to lose. Therefore, I've been sent.
and he just kind of like turns away from you, looks back at the rest of the group, and goes, "So you are aware of what you were getting into here. You have fought forces of Khorne before. Khorne is rage and fury, but there is a sense of honor in how he fights. Dispater is about war, yes, but more on the side of suffering. So I don't even know how to explain this to you. You are receiving the aid, but you are doing this in a darkness you have never experienced before."
I've experienced darkness
Desperate
of a different
times.
kind.
I have
Well-
honor.
If it saves the world, isn't our suffering worth it?
We will have to find out. And he raises a hand, snaps a finger, and you all immediately vanish from where you are, and you appear in the audience chamber that you had your first conversation with him.
That guy seems like he would be fun.
Oh, he's
We
there
also
with
have a
you.
dragon. We have a
Oh.
dragon.
Well, if he's there with me, she would look at him and go, "You seem like you'd be fun."
You can. I know what type of fun you look for, and you can test me at your leisure. And I will send you back to the Spader in so many pieces, it will take him an eternity to put you back together again.
Well, perhaps once all this is done, we could test that theory.
Sensing some tension.
At this point, I am honor bound to end the chaos.
I don't think I have a picture of the room anymore, but that's fine.
Verbal description.
It's as opulent as the outside of the tower.
The chairs form fit to you to be perfectly comfortable. That was the one thing I remember about this place.
The chair,
I mean, that's good because I'm massive.
It's like the chair is like a magic beanbag. It just kind of fits.
So I think, how tall am I? I think I'm like 7.5, 8 feet tall.
You're taller than
like
7
that.
feet? I thought you were like, okay. Well,
No, it's 7 feet 4 inches.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
a
so
fucking
yeah.
Goliath, man.
You appear back in the audience chamber, and I seem to have lost that description of it, but basically, it's a large circular room. There are windows that are carved out of the stonework, and you can walk right up to the edge of the wall and look down. And even at the distance, you're able to see like wind is blowing through the trees, but you don't feel anything. Even at the high altitude that you're at, like you're about halfway up, which is about half a mile above the surface. And it's got that elvish opulence, like glossy marble floors with like inlaid gold everywhere, carvings that seem like they would have taken a master craftsman decades to etch in such perfection. And yes, chairs that look extremely fragile, but the moment you sit in them, they form to your body and absorb the weight, and it's one of the most comfortable seats you've ever had. And you all sit down. Karanath sits at what would have... It's his chair's a little bit pulled back, so to kind of give him like that appearance of like he's at the head of the table. And he leans back in his chair and says, "So, somehow you've returned from Naggaroth, which I would assume means you were successful?"
Yes, we went into the city of Garand and took out the portal to the Slanesh realm in the basement of the Tower of the Sorceresses.
It was a cavern beneath the tower of the Sorceress Academy.
Okay.
And I'll point to Caligar and say, one of the disciples of Cain had this dagger that was used to disrupt and destroy the portal, but its magic is spent, so we're going to need a new one too. And I'll motion for Caligar to bring out the dagger, or whoever has the dagger.
Zeke's got it.
Is that the vicious dagger?
Yep.
Yeah.
I will bamf it into my hand, flip the blade, and hand him the handle.
I say it had some sort of ruby in the hilt, and
Yeah,
once the magic was spent, ruby's not there, it's not glowing anymore.
The magical energy's been spent.
And how was the dagger used to close the portal? I don't understand.
He threw
They
it into
threw
the
it
portal.
into the portal. It floated there, and it's appeared to suck out the energy or to dissipate the energy somehow, because it shrunk the portal until it disappeared.
Yeah, the gem I believe, was the actual magic, not the
Mhm.
dagger
Yeah.
itself. The dagger still retains its normal magical item properties.
Yes. So, I am unaware of what was in the gem in the first place. I wasn't given a chance to look at it beforehand.
And so you found the portal. It was just in a cavern.
No, it was in a secret cult's hideout, but after we dealt with the demon guarding it, then we took care of the portal. Well, as we were fighting the demon, we took care of the portal.
Which demon?
What were they called? Anybody remember?
It was a...
Greater
At this point, we would have
Slaanesh
known
demon.
it was a greater
I
demon, right?
describe it.
Okay. So a keeper of secrets, and he's listening to your description, and you see his face kind of go pale, and it's like, I know which demon you fought.
It has
That
a name?
every demon has a name. Whether this is the true name or not, we don't know, and honestly don't believe it to be. But we know the demon as Inkari, and that was no mere keeper of secrets. That was effectively Slanesh's right hand.
Well, they must be left-handed because with Tobias's help, it was really quite easy to take care of.
Let's not get overzealous here.
I am very crafty.
That's more of me
Tempting
just
gods.
trying to bait the DM a little bit.
Would I know his name?
Tempting the gods.
I remember those arrows.
The demon's name?
Yeah, like would I know? Yeah, who that is?
Roll a history.
History.
Could you spell the name for us? Is that correct?
Nkarri. I believe is how it's
N
spelled.
apostrophe K.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. N apostrophe.
Gotcha.
You've heard mention of the name, but beyond that, you don't know any great detail about the demon itself. Because chaos demons and the demons and devils like you're used to dealing with are vastly different. Like yours are more the traditional sense, whereas the chaos ones are more like emotion given form. Okay,
Sounds
so you defeated the demon, closed the portal. If what we know is true, that should diminish some of Slanesh's hold upon the world, and in essence, should make your task of defeating Archaon somewhat easier. Now, looking to the future, the spies that we sent out were successful in a sense. The ones that we sent to the Darklands never made it through the World's Edge Mountain. They were felt. They were felled upon. Words hard. They were beset by hordes of orcs and goblins, and no matter which way they tried to go through the razor sharp passes, they did not last long. I'm sure this isn't going to be helpful either, but the ones that went to Lustria were able to scry on them as they landed, and within a day of entering the jungles, the last thing we saw was the maw of a giant lizard closing around their head.
Hi, Dad.
Is that Civi?
Yeah, it's city.
So looking at the global map, I see Lustria on the southwest side. Where were the Darklands again?
Northwest.
To the right of the Empire.
Oh no, the
Northeast.
Darklands. Sorry, I was thinking Dark Elves. Yeah, the Darklands are over to the east.
Basically,
Darklands. Okay,
they weren't able to cross the mountains between the Empire and the Darklands.
got it.
Now, as for the last spies we sent out, that went to Araby. There, we were able to get a little more information. As the parchment told us, that is where the portal to the realm of Zinch is located. Our spies were able to land in Kofir and traveled east through the Great Desert, and they were able to travel for some weeks. They made it to the ruins of Xandri, and there, what they saw. The ships plying the port were crewed by no living person. The wood was rotted and broken, the sails were tattered, but they were moving with some unholy wind. The crew manning the ropes were all skeletal.
Oh, joy.
And DM, to remind us non-Warhammer people, Zinch was the chaos god of
Change.
change.
Change. Yep.
Yeah, change and magic.
Yep.
So they scouted Xandri for a few days, saw that there's no living being, and they proceeded to move south. Again, moving through the desert, they were able to catch sight of probably two of the most fear-inducing structures ever to grace this world. They saw the Black Pyramid of Nagash and the Black Tower of Archaon. And again, we were able to scry with them. Before they could proceed any further from there, the desert opened up beneath them, and a claw, more pincer formed, made out of stone and gems, rose up and crushed them. So I hope the information is helpful, as we have lost everyone that we sent out for you.
Is that not what the lowly subordinates are for?
He doesn't even look at you.
You know, some subordinates are looked after by the people that they work for, of course. I've heard. Hopefully.
So what do we think? Araby is closest.
It's closest and we have the most information.
Sounds
Would
like
the
a
plan
decent
be
place to start?
just to land at Kofir, or do we have any idea where the center of Zinch's power is? Or are we just
Well, it sounds
stumbling?
likely around.
It's gonna be like Naggaroth, I assume.
The reason they went to Khemri is the information they received in Araby was the source of power in the region is coming from there. And I don't know how well versed you are on the name of Nagash or Archaon, but he looks at Ezekiel for a second and goes, "You are aware of the undead presence that is in the south of the Empire, correct?"
I would be aware of the history
Smile.
check.
Sure, roll history.
Oh yeah.
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 So you know that
Everybody
like
knows.
there's generally like throughout the world, like there's either rumors of undead or like you've seen themselves or you fought it yourself. So you know that there is like a heavier presence to the southeast of the Empire. Um, and like when you acknowledge that you have that, like you do know of it, he says Nagash was the first Lich. He is the one that brought the power of undeath into the world. Archaon was his second. So if there is a source of magic, to the extent that would be like a focal point for Zinch, my assumption would be to either look at the Black Pyramid or the Black Tower.
Makes
You're gonna
sense
have a
that
hard
that's
you're gonna have a hard time getting there.
makes sense that that's where you lost your spies at too. Closer they got.
When you say a hard time getting there, is it because we cannot just take the sea route straight to Xandri?
Going to Zendri, the ships won't make it. There is a fleet of undead protecting that port. Your best bet is you're either going to have to go to Kofur or Al Haka, or as you see on the map, Al Haik, and begin your journey from there. Trek through the desert. I would steer clear of Xandri. The ruins of Bel Aliad. I can't say for certain if there's an undead presence there or not.
That's
to
a
march
long
through a
trek
nice-
through the desert.
Nice, lovely place called Pools of Despair too.
It's a long
we have a
stretch
ma-
of desert.
Do we have a way to make water or food?
Yes.
We do?
Her,
'Tis I,
cleric.
agent of gods. A number in the thousands. I can make food and water, yes.
Okay.
It takes one of my third level spells. But yes, I can.
Because looking at this map, and I assume we're all staring at a map on a table.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
big fucking trek.
Can somebody
Yeah,
ping where we're talking about? Because I have no clue.
If you on the global map,
Yes.
so
No, she's on the wrong map.
Oh, there you go. Dude. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so this is our end goal is right here, Black Tower of Archon, Black Pyramid of Nagash, but we're gonna have to come from like Kofur or Al Hayak down through Bel Aliad and avoid Xandri because that's where all the undead fleet is.
Would it be too much to land to the coast north and east of Xandri? Or is that just we're not getting near there?
You can attempt it. We have no knowledge of what is there. The reason our spies or scouts landed at Kofur is there is an elvish settlement there. Elves trade through there all the time. It's very easy to get you in, whereas I can't guarantee your safety dropping into those marshes. All I can say is we know them as the Marshes of Madness for a reason.
Okay. And there's not an elf settlement in Al Haik?
Al-Haik is the capital city for Araby, and we don't care to do business with them. Their greatest trade is slaves.
Or slavers, yay. Would they be human settlements? Would I know where we're talking about now?
Yes. Yeah, Araby is a human nation. And actually get get y'all to roll a history for me.
I told it to do a thing, but it's not doing anything that I can see.
What did it roll for you?
I don't see it actually doing any roll.
There was a 2.
I hit the roll button, and then I hit the normal, but nothing's coming up on my screen.
Refresh, but the last one rolled a 2.
I'll just take the one that I put down. You got a 27.
Okay.
I find it funny that it's you that has that information. So
Well, that's not too terrible, because I'm from the southern area of the mountains.
yeah, but you don't really
Over
care about
here
the history of men.
True.
But you're well read, so you know that Araby is like one of the first nations of man as they rose, and that they are an offshoot of the kingdom of Khemri. And Khemri is one of those places that, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. The kings that lived worked and were promised eternal life from Nagash, and when he brought undeath into the world, it began by cursing them, and so they're the rulers. Why am I blanking on how to describe this? They still rule their lands from beyond the grave. But once that kingdom fell, Araby kind of went and did its own thing and became a little more lawless. And then just coalesced into whoever had the most power kind of deal.
Okay, so options: land at Kofar, probably get more help. If we land at Al Haik, we're probably going to get made the moment we get there, pulling in with an elven ship, right? They're not going to like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be better to make our way there from Kofor.
Other than the fact that we are farther away at Kofor.
Yeah, it'll take a bit longer to walk across and land, but the benefits seem to outweigh the negatives.
Now, I see the Oasis of 1,001 camels. Is everything done by camel there, or should we take these horses? What should we do?
Camels are typically better in most deserts.
Okay.
Don't bother with horses in a desert.
Well, I guess that's the plan. Head to Kofor, get camels, go into Al Haik, see if we can get any more information, and maybe cut straight across to Bel Aliyed. Does anyone have any thoughts?
Well, Bel Aliyad is ruins, so we can.
Well,
Yeah, but we
But-
can't go to Zandari, or Zandri, which is just full of undead.
Mhm.
yes.
The whole thing is we have to avoid Zandri, and it's either big desert crossing with nothing, or hope that there's some sort of shelter and maybe some sort of presence of people in Bill Aliad where we can get some info along the way.
We can look, but we should be very cautious about it.
Oh, I assume the moment we leave Al Haik, we're going to be cautious about everything. And even
Do we
going
need
into
to-
Al Haik.
I assume going
Do we
into
need to head to
Al
El Haik?
It's the capital. It wouldn't be a bad place to maybe do our own little research along the way.
Is there anything important or interesting at Martek?
Is anybody in the party an elf?
We have a half elf.
Sort of.
We have a
Half
dark
elf,
elf.
okay.
Tobias.
Dark elf.
He's a half dark elf.
Okay.
Is there anything of interest at Martek?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no, just because the DM has not looked up the city of Martek.
Okay.
So it's up in the mountains. Let's go with it's more of a farming settlement.
Well, just saying, if we're skipping Al Haik, just an idea. Do we want to head for Martek and then keep going, or skip both? Just throwing out ideas and options.
So,
For now, I think
why
we
is
should
landing at Al Haik not an option?
Because they're not
Because they don't like
friendly.
elves?
Yeah.
Can't we find like a human-ish ship?
Not
Travel
where
on?
not where we are right now.
We're on the island of elves.
Nobody
Strictly.
nobody
They-
trades with elves?
The elves trade around the world.
Ugh.
People do. Other races do not trade here.
We would
Right.
have to go to Araby or
Seclusionist.
go to Astalia or the Empire. And we're just lengthening our journey to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The other option, and like this is from Karnath. He's like, I don't know why you guys didn't think about this before. When you get to Kofor, hire a human ship.
That could work, yeah.
Hire a human ship and sail around. What do you know about El Calabad?
Which what? Who now?
El
To
Calabad.
the south.
El la la la. Ollie.
It's ruins.
Idea too.
Well,
One of with
It will be a
the
shorter travel.
with the rise of Nagash, Al Calabad was completely destroyed.
What about Sudenburg?
As far as I'm aware, that whole region was decimated.
Well, we wouldn't find any help, but it would still be a closer journey. We wouldn't find any camels either. We can make our food. We can walk it. Wouldn't necessarily be pleasant, but
What's the
Is there-
difference in pace between walking and camel riding in the desert, though?
Life and death.
Have you tried snowshoeing before?
Yeah.
Have you tried walking in that snow without snowshoes?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we need the
Make it
camels.
We need the camels.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Like
so
my basic understanding of camels is their feet displace their weight
Mhm.
across the sand.
Yeah.
So,
That's
quickest option then, go to Kofor, hire a ship to take us to Al Haik.
that sounds like a good start.
And we cut across the desert, aim for Bel Aliad, unless we hear something else.
Yeah.
And then Black Pyramid of Nagash or Black Tower of Archaon. And see what we get.
Do you know anything of the Pools of Despair? Do we need to skirt that or go through it?
I think we'll find out as we get there. The
Pools of Despair, from my perspective, is just a name on a map. You might have better luck getting some knowledge from people in Al Haik.
I figure. Well, always worth a shot.
Well, ship to Kofor. How soon can we chart it?
The ship you came in,
God.
I don't think she wants you guys back.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't want her either. Is there any other ship?
I don't think she likes our dragon.
Just
I
wait
don't
till
think
she
she likes
sees
anything.
the nightmare.
We have another ship expected to come into port within 3 days. Assuming that they're quick in unloading and you guys just want to leave as soon as possible, we can probably get you out of here at the end of the week.
Sounds good. I
What we
can't
can
think
do.
of any reason why we need to stay.
So a week's time, you will head out for Kofor, if I'm understanding the plan correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Look to hire a ship to swiftly get you to El Haik. From there, go through the oasis of 1,001 camels on your way to Bel Aliad, crossing the pools of despair into the lands of Kemery as you try to either gain entrance to the Black Pyramid of Nagash or Black Tower of Archaon.
Sounds easy when you put it like that.
I know, and also survive the whole thing. That's yeah. Good
We
luck
made
with
it
that.
through Naggaroth.
I'm still shocked by that, by the way.
Is this the DM trying to tell us that we've chosen the wrong path?
Or we could try risking it with the undead fleet. A smaller,
That-
quieter ship from Al Haik. We can get it to the Swamp of Terror. It's a shorter hike. We don't even need camels at that point.
How overrun is that area?
Pretty sure Xandria is
He's-
controlled
he said it was
by
a
the
fleet.
undead. It's not just that there's undead nearby.
Mm.
And he said
That
they had
is
a,
itself is a town of undead, essentially.
and again, there was a fleet.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
How
couple of
big the
undead
fleet
ships.
is.
For perspective, for not Warhammer people, the undead fleet do have cannons and firearms. They're not just like magic zombies that can like do a little bit. They actually do have significant ranged firepower. So sinking the ship we are on would be a very valid fear. Just to throw it out there.
It's just any ship, though. I'm just thinking, would traveling by sea cut our travel time by a lot compared to land?
It would cut travel time. Going up against that kind of undead, not a good idea. Not if we actually want to win.
I'm
Karenat
all-
leans a bit closer and puts a finger right on a part of the map. Pirate Coast.
I
To get
like
to
that.
Xandria first, you have to go past the Pirate Coast.
We could go into the pirate coast.
We're associating with Hell Knights and Dark Elves in dwarves. Pirates are not the moral, unscrupulous bastions that you think in
They're
comparison.
undead pirates.
Okay. So they're more bony than the rest of them. You're gonna have to explain the difference to me.
As much as I love a good gamble and risk from time to time, you still have to appreciate the odds of the gamble you take. And I think the added time of traveling across the sand is worth avoiding fleets of pirates and undead on a singular ship.
All right, but the desert has its own dangers.
Oh,
But
there's
you-
dangers everywhere.
But you have
The-
already solved one of the biggest ones. As long as we know we don't run out of food and water. That is the biggest killer in the desert. Yes,
And Tobias has shelter for you.
there's other problems, but we've solved shelter, which is the biggest killer there.
The biggest issue is transportation and staying alive.
How do we solve shelter?
Tobias has a magical deck of cards that becomes a house.
Oh, nice.
And
I
I
like
think
you.
it's got like a once per day use after it's been destroyed, if I remember correctly.
No, it can be
Otherwise,
used once
I
per
think-
day, but if it gets destroyed, it goes back into the deck. But the deck, like the House of Cards, also is a comfortable interior.
Yeah, it's a comfortable house. It's not just I have a shack of, we're out of the sun or we're out of the snow. It's you walk inside and everything's nice.
And I
Air
have-
conditioned.
And I have a scout who will willingly keep watch at my command. Well,
A great Pokeball too.
he will keep watch at my command, whether it's willing or not. You know, he can be a little sassy sometimes.
As long as he doesn't need sleep.
Well, he can sleep.
He's never been out long enough to determine whether he needs sleep or not, so we don't know yet.
If I
Yeah,
send him
he-
away when we wake up, it doesn't matter, right? Because he can sleep in the place where he comes from.
Yeah, your little friend likes to get exploded or eaten.
He doesn't like it.
So now, Karenith does pipe up about one matter. He's like, you seem concerned about the travel time. You are... The amount of time it takes to go to these portals and shut them, it is going to take time. At the same time, we know that Archaon is looking for the last few relics, and he doesn't know where they are. So his journey itself is taking time. Don't rush to a more dangerous avenue, thinking that getting through it faster will be a benefit.
I think that's the DM's way of saying he planned on us going to Kofor.
No, I'm just saying you don't need to focus. Well,
We're
kind
not
of.
on a timed.
You're not
Right.
on a time
We're
crunch,
not on a timed. Yeah.
right?
Got it.
Perfect example is when you were traveling through Naggaroth. You were traveling for weeks on foot.
Mm.
If you were in a time crunch, those weeks would have been like you need to get through faster. But I'm having you guys jump literally around the world. Time crunch isn't a thing.
Gotcha.
All right,
to know.
Lore Master. Any ideas about this dagger?
After it's been gone for a minute, it disappears. Once it's been out of my possession for a minute, it disappears. So I would need to read.
Do you have to like keep your
He,
finger on the
like,
blade?
he had looked at it and set it down, and you say, about this dagger. He turns around and goes, "That's a neat trick."
And then I'm holding it again. I'm like, here.
Well, more importantly, the magic of the dagger. Any ideas or any places we can look to figure this out?
I will have to do some research. I don't have that
You
answer
got a
for you
week?
at the moment. I've got a week. Before you leave, I will have that answer.
Looks like we got
Perfect.
7 days to kill, lads and ladies.
Is your
All right.
library open to us during the next week?
To an extent, is there... What is it you're looking to find?
Maybe privately.
And I'll get in line behind Ezekiel, not to spy on him, but just I would like to get access to the library as well.
Okay. So if he points at Ezekiel and goes, if you want to speak privately, we can talk in a moment.
Yep.
Tobias, what is it you're looking to find in the library?
Well, one thing I'd like to look up any information on Kane. If I got a week to burn, I'd like to really read up on him. And the other thing is, I wanted to ask you, Lore Master Karenith, are there any priests of Kane here on Ulthuan, any close by that I could speak to?
Future paladin.
There aren't many. But
I know it's not big in elf culture, but I know especially for battles, sometimes you guys pray to Cain. And if there's someone available that I could speak to, that would be a big help.
There is a temple located on the Isle of the Dead. And the priests there are few in number. Most elves from Ulthuan will never go there. That is where the Sword of Cain is kept. That is the sword that I want to make sure. Ilarion? I feel like a nerd that I'm so sad that I forget the name. The sword of the first Phoenix King is there. It was gifted to him by Cain. And it's part of the reason why the Great Rift is open. So if you wish to speak with the priest, we can arrange transport.
Would it take less than a week there and back?
Oh, certainly. You can be there. There and back might take you like 2 days.
Oh, Isle of the Dead. Sorry, I was looking for it everywhere but the center.
Yeah,
Okay.
right in the middle.
Got it.
And it's Anarian.
Anarian, that's what it is, yeah.
Yep. I had to look it up because it was bugging me. It was like, no, it's not Ilarion.
Yeah, I'm going to turn in my nerd card. I'm so sad about that.
Yeah, turn it in. We all knew it.
Yep.
I'll say thank you, Lore Master. That would be much appreciated. Would there be more information, more books to read there rather than here?
If you're looking for books on Cain, there will be books here. If you have questions on Cain, I'm sure I could also answer them for you.
Okay, well, I'll ask them later if there's things other people want to discuss right now, or ask you right now.
Okay. Anyone else looking for some stuff?
Private.
Nope, Caligar is sitting in his chair and just petting Zarin Farley. Just hanging out.
I
wanna
am
look for an
watching
item.
everybody.
I want to look for a spice pouch. The magical spice pouch, because even though I can create food and water, it's bland. And I cannot live like this.
Does anybody have prestidigitation?
No.
Does that
Yes.
do anything for flavor?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can flavor.
Ah, I didn't know that.
But for how long?
Yeah, Tobias will prestidigitate some of the blood that's still on Orion. Oh, it's right there at the bottom. Sorry. Othira. Tobias will prestidigitate some of the blood that's still on Othira from the horse.
So the horse doesn't actually get her bloody.
Yeah, it's just the horse is
Kinda flows
made,
around her.
Like, made of it. It's like part of said horse, not just like dripping off.
Well, I'll turn to Caligar and I'll say, don't they raise dragons in Calador? Wouldn't that be a good thing to learn, place to visit?
He's gonna look very conflicted about this. Like, just it's like he's petting her and he's, you know, oh, you're such a pretty girl. Just freeze it for a second. Just
Karenef kind of smiles and says, if you wish to go speak with the Dragon Tamers in Caldor, we do have teleportation circles there. You can be there in an instant.
All
Ezekiel, are you doing anything?
in Dwarven, I'll say to Caligar, I can't go with you, but sometimes for the sake of knowledge, you need to set your pride aside.
Yeah. It's like,
If you go, I will come with you,
Oh.
just to make sure you don't get into any unnecessary fights.
Maybe Cardinal wants to
Okay.
learn about dragons too.
Yeah.
I always like to know.
Now, if you can arrange this, then yes, I would like to go.
Shall we do Calidor and then the Isle of the Dead?
Well, you guys are getting teleported to
who all needs-
Calidor. He's going on a ship to the Isle of the Dead.
We have a week.
Yes.
We can do both.
Well, it's going to take me 2 days to get to the Isle of the Dead.
There and back.
there and back was 2 days.
Oh, there and back was 2 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we all doing like together, or is this just like disperse and then come back?
Do you
Pretty sure
want
it's
to
up to
go
us.
with us to the land of dragons, Cardinal? Or do you have a specific interest in learning about an elven god of murder?
I just don't want to leave Tobias alone.
Go with-
Seems mean.
Tobias
Well,
will just wave his
Ezekiel
hand
wants
like,
to go hang
I'm
out
fine.
with-
They are
Ezekiel
priests.
wants
You,
to
hang
you'd
out with
fit
some
right in
books.
there.
Yeah, maybe I will learn about Cain. Why not?
Perfect.
Not the first war god.
I will stay here and collect information.
Okay, so Ezekiel
brother.
is doing Ezekiel things. Tobias and Cardinal are going to go learn about a god of murder. And me and the new woman are going to Calidor. Is this the plan?
Sounds about right.
Yes.
Okay then.
And you were all witness to the DM's existential dread of, what did I just let you guys do?
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Why?
It could just be like,
Yeah, it can be a hand
could do
wave
it in
off
order.
screen thing. But,
I know, but I still want to pass along some information.
yeah.
Thank you. Steady.
Oh, okay. So, Ezekiel, did you actually want to have a private conversation, like
Yes.
a whisper? Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
well, yeah, private-ish.
Do you want to do it
We
here
can-
or in a different channel?
We can do
We
it here.
cannot
I don't
metagame.
mind. I
Okay.
trust the
Yeah,
people
you
here
can
not
still
to
whisper.
metagame.
Okay.
I just,
Yeah,
So
well-
you can-
in private, what I want to ask Karanath is if he found any information on the Queen. And if not, if I can have access to any information they have on the Queen.
Considering your unique circumstance, you can have the information. He wasn't able to find it himself, but if you go into the library, the scribes there will assist you in searching for any tomes or any information they can find and pass along what they know to you.
And I will also bring up the fact that in private, just ask, like, hey, you know, if somebody, random person, made a deal with somebody like that, and that, what would that be? A lesser being? Well, I don't know. That being saved their butt, but also branded a bunch of the people they were traveling with a mark, with their mark. Would that have any, you know, actual claim to their soul, or would it just be whoever signed the initial deal?
That is a very good question.
Just, you know,
I'm assuming
random.
this is a hypothetical question.
100% hypothetical.
Yeah,
None of my
100%
friends have a
hypothetical.
tattoo suddenly.
If what I know of this being is that they're as powerful as they are, I'd say there's at least a 50% chance that, yes, if she's staking claim to their souls, that it's going to be hard to avoid said claim.
Gotcha. That would be a terrible situation to be in.
That would be, Now, when you say, like, hypothetically that she's claiming their soul, is she saying that their souls are claimed for her service? Or, what's the way to phrase it? Elimination.
You know, I don't. In this hypothetical situation, I don't know why I was having trouble with that.
In this hypotenuse.
In this hypotenuse, sine over cosine equals tangent. It's a math joke. Wasn't well. They probably wouldn't have been that descript, but you know, forfeit may have been the term that was used. It won't, you know, something like imagine they threaten somebody with the words like, "It won't just be your soul that is forfeit, but your companions as well." Just hypothetically speaking.
Sounds like they would be. Yeah, it sounds like elimination, and yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah. And not that I would ever need this information. How do you break that to those kind of people? Or do you just keep it a secret and hope it never comes up? Because I'm sure that's what this other hypothetical person is doing right now.
If this hypothetical person cared about the people that have hypothetically had their souls claimed by the hypothetical queen, the honorable thing would be to tell them and seek a way to break that hold, and maybe also seek a way to break the hold of the queen over their own soul.
What if that person was expressly forbidden from taking those kinds of actions?
Sounds like a shitty place to be.
Now,
I like how
not for my edification, but for someone else's, what is the process of undoing a contract like that?
Well, since the queen is the figure that rules the line between the Feywild and the Shadowfell, I would say you'd have to go into her realm and destroy her. Because otherwise, as long as she exists, that power can't be broken.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the person in that position then.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. I'll just yeah, any more information we can find during that week, that's how I'll spend the rest of my time.
I hope you find the information that you're looking for.
Yeah, for that other person's, you know, sake, it's very important.
I just love the general "you're fucked" face Asriel has.
Why not? He and I both know what's in the contract.
Well, I have the contract. Whether I remember what you wrote in it and all that, yeah. 3 pages of
You did that to
legalese.
yourself.
Remember
You did
my
that to
mercenary
yourself.
party contract, guys?
Yeah, you made up another one that's more convoluted.
Yeah.
I entirely believe it. I am very curious about seeing it one day.
If I'm ever allowed to show it, sure. That may or may not be in the contract. That's all I had.
That was a great conversation. I loved it.
Yep, that was great.
Yeah. And honestly, that I had Karen that just played along. It's like, yep, hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so honestly, I think at this point is a good place to stop because we don't have time for what I have planned next.
Hypothetically,
Hypothetically,
Hypothetically, obviously.
don't worry about it. No, honestly, this is. I think this is a great place to stop. And over the next week, I'll reach out to you guys, and we'll figure out what kind of information you kind of glean. So it was Othira and Caligar are going to Calidor.
Mhm.
Cardinal and Tobias are going to the Isle of the Dead, and Ezekiel is going rummaging through the library in the tower.
yes.
Fun times.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, anything that you're looking to buy, magic wise, just put into like the party chat for the campaign in Discord, and we'll figure that out. But yeah, the Heward's handy spice pouch, I'm sure, is somewhere in Ulthuan. Can be arranged.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm glad
this
to be
is-
back.
Yeah, no, this is cool. This is weird. Being a dwarf, going over to the elves and asking for information.
Being magicked by the elves.
Yeah.
Let
it's
them
just all
cast
sorts-
magic on you.
It's
Think
just
about it as espionage.
I have a whole week without anybody looking. Well, I guess not a whole week, however long it takes you guys over there and Tobias at the Isle of Dead. But I have time
Well,
unattended by any chaperones.
Oh God.
That's I was like, nobody's gonna question me on sending everybody else somewhere with somebody. This is fucking great.
At this
It's like-
point, as long as we're not there to die beside you, I'm okay with that.
You guys all return from your journey, and the White Tower is just a smoldering ruin. Ezekiel's out front, like panic look on his face, and goes, "Mistakes were made."
No, it would be like Ron Burgundy in The Anchorman. Just sit back in a chair with a drink, tea in this case. It just saying, well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to where this is going. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back in
Yeah, no,
Ezekiel's
it's
shoes.
very. Yeah, it's very cool to get back into this. I do think it'd be fun to do like that non-fatal PvP duel, something like, because like I got to play the Ill Rigger in a one shot in one of a one shot that Fox ran, and it was a lot of fun. Though I was the Architect of Ruin because I really liked the stuff that it had in there, especially the level 7 one where you can swap one of your attacks for a cantrip.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm-
gets nasty if you happen to be using a maul that you have mastery with. So you knock the person prone and then hit him afterward with like Vengeful Strike, Vengeful Blade.
I'm playing a Shadow Master in another game. So, but yeah, Illrigger is a class. It's a class from MCDM.
Mhm.
That Donnie and I bought. And it is inherently evil. Like, you cannot play this class without being evil. And so Donnie and I had lots and lots and lots of talks.
It's
And
like
I love it.
Literally Hell Knight.
It's like a cross. Yeah, it's like a cross between a rune knight and a warlock who made a deal with a fiend patron.
Well,
Yeah,
kind of. I'm a fucking, like, basically a paladin of hell.
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she is straight up just
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see like troops of hell, there's gonna be one of her around, and you do not want to be in front of them.
Yeah, I have. So when
basically
you
a
talked
shock
about
group.
subordinates, I actually do have a subordinate that is like, we've become, not, he's still my subordinate, but he's like, like, I guess you could say like one of my closest friends.
Oh,
if I
yeah.
have
Quotations. Friends.
He's a friend that has to do what I tell him to. Okay.
Toot Toot and I aren't friends.
Yeah.
I don't have friends, I have minions.
Yeah. He's just a
Dude,
he's a familiar.
I have a squad that sometimes just gets given to me.
Yeah, I have a familiar that is very sassy. You know, imagine
I mean,
Asriel
not
in
in-game
full sass.
squad.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's just like in the backstory.
yeah.
I'm a lieutenant.
Introduction was hella sick.
Mhm.
But, I guess
I
Yeah, I
this
just
is
need
not bad for
to.
now.
Yeah, I need to get some sort of timey-wimey thing so I can magically make a Zarin like an extra century older.
Oh, good God.
Hey, technically, if we went to the Feywilds to deal with my patron above table, obviously,
Uh-huh.
if we went to the Feywilds
This whole conversation's above.
and dealt and dealt with my patron for a while, maybe she sends us back 100 years in the future. Granted,
no, it would have
then
to be
it's likely
just
that
Zarin. Because if we were there, like part of it, like Zarin herself needs to become 101 years old.
yeah. So
Because
we
then
go to
that's
the
when she magically
Feywilds.
becomes an adult dragon.
So we go to the Feywilds, and when we come back, time has gone forward 100 years, and chaos has won, but we got a dragon.
Yeah.
If chaos wins, there is no world.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing of running this campaign, where I've said it like time-wise, is I know exactly what happens if you guys fail, because Games Workshop already wrote that story for me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. Became kind of like science fantasy.
It's kind of weird and funky, but I can't help but not like the Sky Pirate dwarves because
Sky Pirate
dwarves.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Steampunk Sky Pirate Dwarves.
Steampunk, yeah. Steampunk Sky Pirate dwarves. That is my favorite thing in the entire setting.
I am curious, now that we're not in-game and this is all taking place above table, what was Aethera's reaction to the party? And like the different people she met.
Thinks, Othira thinks Ezekiel talks too much, but he's useful. But he needs to be managed. She doesn't have any real opinion about what's your character's name? Oh no.
There's Cardinal,
Tobias.
Tobias?
Tobias. Other than Tobias is stupid. She thinks you're stupid. She appreciates Caligar, that you have this like conflict and that you're working to do something even though you have this conflict, like the dedication that it takes to do that. And she doesn't have much of an opinion on Cardinal other than you are a warrior, clearly. Like, you can fight.
Yeah,
Because you don't get to be that
Just
kind
how
of...
I like it.
Well, she hasn't
Yeah.
seen her miss all her spells in combat, so...
Well, no, but, I mean, being... Like, if you're talking about being an 8th level war cleric, just kind of assuming that you can fight.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I just had to take that shot.
Even my guy has, like, half plate and stuff on, so I'm not just walking around in, like, little robes or nothing. I've got a half plate, a shield, warhammer.
So, point of order for Othira's sake. Ezekiel does wear armor, but you don't see it when you look at him because he's wearing glamored, studded leather armor, and he always makes it look like the most ostentatiously fancy clothes, unless he has a reason not to.
Oh, dude, then she really doesn't like...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, when they went to Altdorf and Ezekiel's like, yeah, this is where I was from. Like, well, how much would it cost to, like, buy back your house? And I was like, oh, about 5 million gold. Fox's face just dropped.
I used to be rich, then I blew it all on booze and women.
5
And now I don't
gold.
drink.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That's
Says
Ezekiel's
nothing
story.
about the women.
That's a talent.
There's nothing about the women.
So, so then, what was your guys' reaction to her?
You saw it.
Oh, I fucking
Yeah.
love Athera Cardinal
No,
too.
I
She's
know the
like,
players. I know the players, but like your characters, I'm curious. I told
Well,
you
no,
mine.
that was the character's reaction.
Yeah, Tobias is very
Yeah, it
like
was.
he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Like
Oh yeah.
it's just there. For Ezekiel, is very much this person will be a very good ally in a fight, and I can appreciate that. When she tried to pick him up and put him on his horse, he's like, "Oh, nobody just manhandles me."
Nobody
Woman
touches the
handles you.
merchandise
There's
unless
only
they pay for
there's
it.
only one person who gets to boss me around like that, and that's because I am legally and even
Obligated to.
beyond legally, like by my soul, am bound to follow that person's command.
That's funny.
Cardinal has kind of respect for your no-nonsense attitude. She's like, finally, somebody who is an adult in this group.
Come
At
on.
least she hopes. Like, sure, we might have to kill you, you're kind of evil, you know, but also sane. She's wise. God help us.
I'm not too bad.
You're
I just
the
don't-
least worst. You're the least worst of them. You pulled out a deck of many more things. No more
Yeah,
no more opinions.
I'm so
I
happy.
didn't know the option was a deck of many more things for the deck of omens. I imagine.
And then
I
you pulled
happened
3
to get
cards
the deck of
without
omens.
identifying. Don't
Yeah, the
say
person
that.
who
Exactly.
identifies our stuff for us pulls cards without
What?
identifying the deck. I
Because
am-
I said it as I held it. I was like, I could be boring. I could identify this. I'm gonna pull 3 cards.
You chose violence.
Because
I
it was the
respect
one-
that.
I mean, like, come on. You couldn't give me a dream deck of cards and then not expect me to have a little bit of fun with it
So-
before I actually learned everything about it.
Kind of awesome thing, because of the card I
What?
pulled, I actually gained 1 AC with my armor.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because it's decks.
Yeah, that was... The problem is, now Ezekiel's like, dude, Queen's got my back. Let me pull 5 more cards.
Oh boy.
The only way to make money
I
is to
wouldn't
take a
do
risk.
5. Obviously I'm tempted to draw more cards.
What if I
because it's a deck of cards, but
If I pull a ruined card, I don't have... Well, I do have some money now. Not enough, though.
you just gave me all your money, and then now it's not yours anymore. See, if you pull the
Problem-
ruin card, you don't lose it.
Problem is, whatever is in the party fund would also disappear.
I'd kill you.
No,
I
it's
would
because it's
flay
just
you
yours.
alive.
Because Ezekiel has a partial claim to it and it hasn't been doled out and it's for the group and Ezekiel's part of that group, it would go.
Technically, it's my money.
Because
Is
if
that
we
technically?
had a bastion, that would disappear too.
Well, Bastion is per person.
Yeah, that would be individually.
Yeah.
Actually, I was. You did remind me. One of the things I wanted Karanak to go over with you guys is he was going to offer you some land just outside of the tower to establish a bastion if you want it.
Well, yes.
We got a week.
I still want a Thunder Barge. That will be my bastion.
I have to look into Bastions. I haven't actually looked into
I glanced at them and there's
They're
a lot of
actually
rules there.
useful now.
Yeah. So like, if you guys wanted to establish, like, it would be one building that would be like the bastions combined, but you all have your own individual sections
Bastion.
of that building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
like
then I
we
can
could all
bring
combine
my
it
dude.
together to make one large structure, and then just each one would be our own chunk of it that we would expand on our own.
Are we still streaming, or have we?
Yeah, no, we're still
No,
Said
no,
saying
we're still
goodbye.
streaming because at
Okay.
this point we're just having a hangout.
Right.
We should
Like-
say bye to the viewers.
They might enjoy the hangout, and they might want to chime in
if
as
they want to
well.
hang out, they can hang out. Yeah. But no, with Othira's appearance, like Caligar was very wary because apparently I have a new child. And
Yeah.
so he's gone from his initial reason for the journey to crap. I have a dragon as a dwarf that like this never happens. And also I have a child to look after now. So he's very like conflicted and trying to sort through his emotions, and he's all over the place right now. So a new person teleporting out of a rip in
portal?
reality is interesting, but also not the first time he's seen it this week.
That's funny.
So he's open for more people, and obviously, like as I said, he's wary, but not to the point where he's like ready to whack you upside the head or nothing.
Cool.
Going to the Calidor as a dwarf is just weird.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was so excited when I thought about the fact, like when we were paying for the horses, and I thought about the fact I had all that money from robbing the.
Yeah, because you've got an extra like 500 platinum or something. You got a lot.
I have an amount of money in my pocket that is morally righteous in the fact that I stole it, because I stole it from a slave auction house. So, not that I knew it was a slave auction house, because I don't speak Dark Elf, but yeah, that's nice. Anyways,
But yeah, like overall, I'm really excited to see you play No Rigor, because I just like the idea of the class itself, and
Mhm.
I only got to play it the one time, but I did have fun with it.
But now you understand why when you said, "Oh, your gems might go missing," I said you might want to reconsider that. Yeah. She
never-
Fine.
I have never stolen anything from this party. So for everyone, for our viewers' edification, when we first started, these were 2014 characters. And then at one point we got really excited about 2024 and we were allowed to rebuild our character and keep our ability scores. Ezekiel started out as a swashbuckling rogue warlock mix, who was initially hiding the fact that he was a warlock by just shouting, "I'm a rogue," in combat when he would do cool things. Or anytime there was a chance to pick a lock, like, "Don't worry guys, I got this, I'm a rogue." When we rebuilt the characters, he went completely spec'd into warlock all the way, because 2024 Archfey Warlock is awesome. And he still does rogue things, but he's not a rogue. But the running joke is he's still a rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue-ish.
And Caligar was a pure artificer, but then I respect him because he was an armor artificer. And then during the swap over, I respect him into a artificer wizard multi-class. And then I went into artillerist artificer and evocation wizard, because my cantrips don't miss anymore, and I'm very difficult to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
'cause
Also-
what's your AC? It's like 21?
Right
plus
now,
shield.
20.
20. But I also have the shield spell, so I can bump it up to 25, and I also have silvery barbs, so I can make crits miss. And I was recently given a cloak of displacement, so attacks against me are at automatic disadvantage until I get hit for the first time in a turn. And then the next time it's my turn, the disadvantage comes back again.
Yeah.
Plus your
Yeah,
10,
I don't make this hard for myself at all.
plus your plus your 10 temp HP every day at dawn.
And lightning immunity. Don't forget the lightning immunity.
Yeah.
And I'm also fire resistant and poison resistance just because I'm a dwarf, but I'm also fire resistant because of a magical set of armor he gave me for my birthday. So I'm
That reminds me,
resistant.
we need to have a message that pinned with everyone's birthday again.
I can
Because
do
I
that.
know Amber's is coming up soon in April.
Fox and I have the same
Mine's-
birthday. We're twinsies.
Yeah, mine's a couple months away. It's no biggie.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that we should definitely get another pin up. But yeah, so I'm resistant to 2 elements and I'm immune to 1. Oh no, fire and radiant. I'm resistant to. It says. Is the armor both? I think it might be both.
Psychic damage from here on out.
Yeah, the armor is fire and radiant resistance. So I'm resistant to 3 and immune to 1. Now I just need to come up with some sort of Tesla coil.
All right, so just because we're getting close to our end time anyways, quick shout out to our viewers. Check out Quest Accepted D&D. We hang out in their chat, they hang out in ours. They got a really cool campaign going. I absolutely love Sabir. He's what's the cat person race? I can't think of. Tabaxi.
Yeah.
Tabaxi with a really nice accent. And then they also have a warlock character that I love named Shun. Check them out. They've been in our chat tonight. I'll give them another shout out.
And when do they stream again?
They stream all throughout the week. Their games are on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm happy I remembered that because I was just watching them yesterday. Over at the link there. Next, on the 25th, their DM Marco is running the game in a maid outfit. And he had it yesterday in a package. It had arrived, so it will be happening.
Nice.
I will be there to watch it. For us, you can catch us again this Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific, continuing the Empires of the Silk Road campaign run by the lovely Foxish.
Mhm.
And
Where we get to find out how well a horse fits down a well.
yeah,
Yeah. Did you see the video?
Yes, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I am excited to play Hakim again as well. So this is fun.
I'd like to try.
Go ahead.
Sorry, continue.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add, or would somebody like to count us down to all say goodbye?
Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
That was the most depressing countdown ever.